الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. All praise is due to Allah, and may Allah's peace and blessings be upon His final messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Of the 5 pillars of belief, 5 pillars of Iman, is believing in the angels and the world of the angels. And when we talk about angels in general, we're going to be talking about the world of the unseen. What do I mean by the world of the unseen? Say, world of ghaib. We have to believe in this. These are things told to us by the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ through revelation. So this is part of believing in Allah. And the world of angels is an interesting world, where we get to know some details regarding the angels, some of their duties, some of their names, their actions, right? Their physical appearance. There's some of their descriptions. And this increases, believing in them, believing in their descriptions, this increases our faith and make us believe in the final day, right? So we will start by talking about what the angels were created from. Well, did the Prophet ﷺ mention what the angels were created from? Yes. He ﷺ has told us that angels were created from, which is light. Yeah, angels were created from light. And the jinn were created from fire, as some of the scholars have said. And in the hadith, when the Prophet mentioned and Adam, he said, well, Adam was created from what was described to you, meaning clay. So angels were created from light. And of their description, of their attribute, is that they never disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are sinless, always worshipping Allah, always doing what they are commanded. Allah Azza wa Jal described them as saying, لا يعصون الله ما أمرهم ويفعلون ما يؤمرون. Okay? They do not disobey Allah in what He commands them, and they do what they are commanded. That's always the case. And they're in continuous worship, always worshipping Allah, always exalting Allah. Allah Azza wa Jal said, يُسَبِّحُونَ اللَّيْلَ وَالنَّهَارَ لَا يَفْتَرُونَ. They exalt Him night and day, and they do not slacken. And we also believe in their names. We believe in their names that were revealed in the Quran and Sunnah. And of their names, as the Prophet ﷺ mentioned, is Jibreel, the messenger. He is the most noble of the angels, right? And Allah Azza wa Jal has described him, saying, إِنَّهُ لَقَوْلُ رَسُولٍ كَرِيمٍ ذِي قُوَّةٍ عِنْدَ ذِي الْعَرْشِ مَكِينٍ مُطَاعٍ ثَمَّ أَمِينٍ. That indeed in this verse, the Rasul Kareem is Jibreel. He said that indeed the Quran is a word conveyed by a noble messenger who is possessed of power, and with the owner of the throne secure in position, obeyed there in the heavens and trustworthy. So Allah Azza wa Jal, the Creator, has described Jibreel as one who has power. He is no ordinary angel. He has power. He is also noble. He is also trustworthy. And he is also obeyed in the heavens. So that angel's commands in the heavens, when he commands other angels, it is always obeyed. And Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned that the angels, they have wings, right? Allah Azza wa Jal said in Surah Fatir, فاطر السماوات والأرض جاعل الملائكة رسلا أولي أجنحة مثنى وثلاث ورباع. So Allah mentioned that He created angels and made them messengers with wings, who have wings, 2 wings, 3 and 4, right? And Jibreel, this is interesting that the Prophet ﷺ, Ibn Mas'ud said that the Prophet saw Jibreel and he described him in his true form, not the form when he comes as a human, his true form, having 600 wings. Mind you, we're still talking about the creature here. We're not talking about the Creator. And subhanAllah, this brings us to an interesting story. It was said that some of the early scholars, there was this young man who used to argue about the names of Allah and Allah's attributes. He'd listen, he'd find in the Quran that Allah has a hand. And he'll keep arguing, how is the hand of Allah? How do we say that Allah has a hand? It didn't just enter his mind. So one of the scholars, a wise scholar, he told him, okay, fine. Before talking about Allah, the Creator, let's talk about something less. Let's talk about Jibreel, an angel, part of his creation, part of Allah's creation. He said to this person who wanted to visualize everything, he told him, look, Allah Azza wa Jal, the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that Jibreel has 600 wings. Can you visualize this for me? Can you describe? How can you build 600 wings on a thing? Then he was baffled. He couldn't answer. So the scholar is like, okay, maybe I gave you a hard example. Okay, Allah Azza wa Jal, then he's like, let's talk about another creature. Allah Azza wa Jal mentions in the Quran that He created angels with 2 wings, 3 wings, and 4 wings. Okay, he said, okay, 2 wings, you might say one on the left and one on the right. What about the 3 wings? How would you describe him? How would you visualize him? Would you say 1 wing on the left, 1 wing on the right, and 1 wing in the middle? Then the young man was like, khalas. He couldn't answer. And mind you, as I said, these are mere creatures of Allah. So we don't, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, okay, to Him we attribute, to Him belong the greatest of names, the most beautiful of names. And when we attribute something to Allah, we always say befitting to His majesty. He is not like His creation. Much greater subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whatever He has attributed to Himself, we attribute it to Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we say it's a way befitting to His majesty. And this is a way, if sometimes you get confused, you say, well, these creatures, I can't even visualize these creatures like Jibreel, 600 wings. How can I visualize this? And the Prophet ﷺ saw Jibreel in his true form, as the scholars have said 2 times. And when he saw him, he said, those wings just blocked blocked the horizon. He was just huge with 600 wings. Again, we're still talking about a creature of Allah. So this, when we talk about this should make us, understand the greatness of the Creator subhanahu wa ta'ala, who was able to create these creatures. And we understand that He subhanahu wa ta'ala alone deserves to be worshipped, who created all these. And these angels that we talk about, they exalt Allah and they worship Allah alone and they know Allah's greatness. Okay? And of the creatures and of the angels are those who record our deeds. Now, believing in these angels will make us cautious of what we say, careful of what we do. Why is that? We have angels on our right and on our left. Allah Azza wa Jal says, إِذْ يَتَلَقَّى الْمُتَلَقِّيَانِ عَنِ الْيَمِينِ وَعَنِ الشِّمَالِ قَعِيدٌ مَا يَلْفِظُ مِنْ قَوْلٍ إِلَّا لَدَيْهِ رَقِيبٌ عَتِيدٌ. When the 2 receivers received 2 angels, seated on the right and on the left, man does not utter any word except that with him is an observer prepared to record. Okay? So whatever you say, whatever you do, be aware that there is someone recording. Okay? You have 2 angels, not 1. And they're prepared. They're very well prepared. Nothing, they will not miss anything. Anything that you say, anything that you do will be recorded. Okay? It doesn't matter if someone saw you or if no one saw you. Allah sees you and Allah hears you. And you will have angels recording everything in your book of deeds. Okay? And of the angels that the Prophet ﷺ mentioned and described are those that extract the souls when the person dies. There are 2 types. Allah Azza wa Jal swore by them in the Quran, saying, وَالنَّازِعَاتِ غَرْقًا وَالنَّاشِطَاتِ نَشْطًا. And by those angels that extract with violence, وَالنَّازِعَاتِ غَرْقًا, they extract the souls of the disbelievers in such a manner to cause punishment and torment upon them. Why is that? That is part of their punishment. Because when death arrives, that is the time where reward and punishment starts. Okay? And these angels when they extract the soul, they're punishing that person. This is one type, right? We mentioned there are two types. This is one type. They extract the soul in such a manner, causing punishment, causing torment. But there's also another type for the believers and those who were righteous in their lives. Said Allah Azza wa Jal, وَالنَّاشِطَاتِ نَشْطًا. Look at the words used. And nasht, the scholars have said it's like, some of them said it's untying a knot in a calm way, in a smooth way, not causing any harm. And this is part of your reward. When you die, if you were righteous in your life, now is the time to gain the reward. It starts with the angel that comes and extracts your soul. It does it in a smooth, and this is something very scary. We don't know, this is part of the world of the unseen. When a person dies, all of the world of the unseen will be the world of the seen. You'll look at angels, you will start seeing angels. Yes, that's when a person dies. So those angels that will come and will extract the souls of the believers, they'll have bright faces, right? As the sun, as the Prophet ﷺ described them, right? Bright as the sun. Okay, and this is, subhanAllah, when a person sees them, he knows that, subhanAllah, I did the right thing. Okay, I did the right thing. Alhamdulillah that Allah made me a mu'min. Alhamdulillah that I was worshipping Allah until the end. Okay, but when he sees the other angels, if those that were coming have black, dark faces, okay, and saying bad things, okay, you know you made a mistake. To those disbelievers, they know that they took this life as a joke. They took religion as a joke. Well, now is the time to taste that joke. How funny it is. So we'll start by extracting the soul in a violent matter, causing punishment, causing torment. وَالنَّازِعَاتِ غَرْقًا. SubhanAllah, may Allah Azza wa Jal protect us and make us of the righteous. So Allah Azza wa Jal, then, if that's not enough, Allah Azza wa Jal then also mentioned those angels that will be in hellfire. What? There'll be angels in hellfire? Yes. Yes. Allah Azza wa Jal even has described them in the Quran. Allah Azza wa Jal has said, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَهْلِيكُمْ نَارًا وَقُودُهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ عَلَيْهَا مَلَائِكَةٌ غِلَاظٌ شِدَادٌ لَا يَعْصُونَ اللَّهَ مَا أَمَرَهُمْ وَيَفْعَلُونَ مَا يُؤْمَرُونَ. Okay? All you have believed, protect yourselves and your families from a fire whose fuel is people and stones, over which are appointed angels. What's their description? Harsh and severe. They do not disobey Allah. They do not disobey Allah in what He commands them, and they do what they are commanded. And subhanAllah, this is something very interesting. Ibn Kathir described them as saying, عليها ملائكة غلاظ شداد أي طباعهم غليظة قد نزعت من قلوبهم الرحمة بالكافرين بالله شداد. He said that, he mentioned, explaining this verse, Ibn Kathir said, the mercy was removed from their hearts. This alone is scary. I don't think you understand what it means when Allah said, when Ibn Kathir said, mercy is removed from their hearts. If you think about this, if you look at the biggest criminal, those who have done the scariest of crimes, things that are just unimaginable, these creatures, they have mercy in their hearts. They have at least some mercy for some people. They still have mercy. Those angels in hellfire, they don't even know what mercy is. They were created for punishment. They were created to torment the people of hellfire. Okay? Subhanallah. So Allah, who has created them in a way looking scary, okay, having absolutely no mercy in their hearts. They don't even know what mercy is. And Allah Azza wa Jalla will command them to do certain things to the disbelievers in hellfire, and they will follow those commands. So this is something, very, very scary. That should not be taken lightly. And inshallah, final hadith. This hadith will show us the greatness of our Creator subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that. He said, أذن لي. Okay? أذن لي أن أحدث عن ملك من ملائكة الله من حملة العرش. Okay. إنما بين شحمة أذنه, the lobe. Okay. إلى عاتقه, shoulder, مسيرة 700 عام. Explaining it. The Prophet ﷺ said, I have been permitted. It's like he was just given permission to talk about this angel. He was not allowed to talk about him. he was given permission from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to talk about this angel, one angel. I have been permitted to tell about one of Allah's angel who bears the throne, who carries the throne, one of them. Okay. The distance between the lobe of his ear, this here, the lobe of the ear, they say, okay? Between the lobe of his ear and his shoulder is a journey of 700 years. You won't be able to imagine this. This is just, you can't comprehend this. A journey from the lobe of the ear to the shoulder, 700 years. What is the size of this angel? And he is just one of many angels who will carry the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. On the day of judgment, there'll be 8. Again, this is a mere creature. Look at his size, you can't even imagine. And this distance is short. What about his height? Subhanallah. The exalted is He who has created them. How great He is who has created these angels, and He does not need them. These are mere creatures of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when we look at ourselves, when you're full of yourself, just remember that you're nothing. Okay? We are just mere human servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah doesn't need us. Okay? He has the angels, and He doesn't need the angels even. He created everything for a purpose. Okay? For a wisdom. And believing in the world of the angels, we should fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and know how great He is and worship Him with sincerity, putting the effort in knowing how great He is subhanahu wa ta'ala and how He deserves, every single worship we can give and more. Whatever we can give, He deserves much more. That is why we always ask Allah to forgive us. We always ask Allah to have mercy upon us because He deserves much more than what we give. Subhanahu wa ta'ala. And He only asked from us just a little, to worship Him alone and to do what we are able to do. Okay. هذا والله أعلم وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Inshallah, next week we'll be talking about messengers and books, belief in messengers and books. Very interesting lecture. It will be next week. Inshallah, I'll see you then. هذا والله أعلم وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.